Case study 23, Picky McPickerson. I think this is a case study really go deep to our heart in all of our individual experience. Mm, we look at Tony that he his limited food choices. He's a picky eater. He drinks soda. He drinks juice. Doesn't like vegetables. Just look at his iPod or phones or all the time. And the mom is blaming him not having blaming him to be a picky eater. But it really gets me to feel actually angry for the opportunity or the options and environment that we provide for the younger generation. And I look at myself that I still have problem with food. My relationship to food is really not healthy. I would binge eat. I would work out a lot to offset that. Eat when I'm emotional, when I'm tired, when I'm happy, when I'm sad. I will binge eat and I'll binge drink. So I don't have healthy relationship to food. And but of course it's not entirely my parents' fault. But my parents, especially my mom, ever since we're little, that's how we were raised. Because they're so poor, we get stipend from military because my dad was in service, and we have food stamps to go to special military supermarket or grocery store to exchange for rice, um, certain food, oil, soy sauce and all that. So like we were put under a huge stress that we have to eat every single rice in our bowl. Otherwise, we're wasteful, we're disrespectful, we're bad kids. So it's a very unhealthy relationship to food. So now, even I'm 44, I no longer have that poor relationship to food anymore, but it's still emotional. So when I feel emotional, food is my to go comfort. And to eat a lot that almost was safe when I was little because we didn't have enough. So it was a great thing to be able to be super full. So I look at myself, my own experience, and I look around with my clients, their experience with their kids, and I really feel our as adult our obligation and responsibility for the next generation. So I thought a lot about this action plan, and not only the action plan for Tony, but action plan actually I would love to carry out to help our younger generations. So I really like to see if I can reach girls and boy clubs, a local one. We have two in Pasadena area. So I really want to see if I can volunteer to do something for the kids. It's very discouraging. I was talking to one of my clients, Karen. She was on board for the local boys and girl clubs. She was on board for a couple of years and then she resigned because at that time she was despite her busy schedule, she would go to Costco every other weeks and then get all the healthy snacks, for the kids going there after school. And but because there's not a great way to introduce those healthy food for them, so kids don't even want to go to the boys and girl club after school because they didn't like the snacks choices. So in the end, the boys and clubs, told Karen they have to change back to the snacks that they're used to. Then that will, get them come to boys and girl club instead of pushing them away. So it's very sad that it Karen tried so hard and then she got pushed away and she's discouraged. She was rejected. So we have to really talk to kids' language, and we really have to design fun game kind of you know, ways to introduce them for a variety of different food. So I really feel a huge responsibility to do that. And so this case study is a start for me to focus on that. So I'm very happy to work on this case study. So few things that I learned from from all this, that our taste development as from infant to grow up. So it takes 5 months in uterus as a womb to develop our sweet and sour taste, and then we don't develop the salty taste until 5 months, 5 6 months after we're born. So and naturally we cater to enjoying sweet food because and we are naturally designed genetically programmed to dislike bitter and sour food because when it's a self-protection in a hunter-gathering time that can help us to prevent to eat toxin and poisonous plant or food. So it's already hard enough for us genetically to eat vegetables or different varieties of food because we're catered to like sweet food. And then of course in this mass industrial society, for the manufacturers and factories and those huge businesses, that if they want to sell their food product, of course they're going to make it very sweet, very salty. And so it got worse and worse for this sugar addiction, sweet addiction. The more the kids eat those things, the less they will want to eat less desirable food. So it makes everything a lot harder, especially now, to really help kids to open up their mind and world to welcome other kind of food. So it's a huge challenge, but we have to do it because the next generation is our future. So we just have to do it. And so back to case study 23. What is my primary objective as a coach? First big objective, I need to prepare mom and dad. In this case, mom took Tony. So I need to prepare mom and both parents to be ready, willing, and able to take this entire family makeover task. They need to understand it really start from themselves, their mental status, how they think, how they perceive, how they're willing to really make this work. So that's one. And another primary objective is I really want to help the entire family to have healthy relationship to food. And from the dad, his snacking habit, to mom, she's trying to explain herself out of having really bad food in her kitchen. To the daughter, she like ice cream, probably she eats a lot of ice cream. Or to Tony now, he's such a picky eater. So I really like to introduce and educate them to have healthy relationship to food, not like myself or many other parents themselves. And so that's my primary objective. And then each family in this, each member has their unique life stage. So for instance, dad, taking into consideration the daughter's 14 years old, he's probably about 40. And a 40-year-old man is in their prime of their career. So his priority probably is career focus and advancement. From 45, 55, it's the time that people really get ideas going, career growth, and everything. And for mom, she's probably late 30s, 40s, and she's the life stage is just busy, juggling around with family matters, kids, transportation, her own work, and her own self, personal matter. And for the daughter, she's 14 years old. It's very hard to be 14 years old girl in this country, especially. So a lot of changes all from her puberty, from her own hormone, from her own body, self-image, and the peer pressure, everything. So that's a daughter life stage. And for Tony, 10 years old, he's gonna finishing up his grade school, and he probably is a life stage that he just want to hang out with the boys in the class and want to be liked. And then also he's also the youngest in the family, so that also is a very important life stage of him still a baby, and the real baby hasn't really you know goes through puberty or haven't even gone to middle school, so he's still the baby in family. And so that's my analysis for different life stage for each family member. And so the next one, there's a lot of additional information I would like to gather because there's really not enough information. So for instance, that I would really need to know what food Tony's eating, what kind of activity level he has, because for kids that are growing up, it really make a huge difference with their activity level and to their food choices, timing, portions, and everything. And so I really need to know more about their food journal and entire family food journal, the timing, the pattern, how they eat. They eat separately together. You know, I know they do a lot of takeout food, and then do they just individually, eat, grab, or sit down, or different things I really need to know. And also Tony, that he's 10 years old, has any major changes from the past years of or he just always not eating vegetables, or he's changed from one kind to the other, or different things. And also the parents, what kind of availability they provide to the kids now and before. Were they always both working, always very busy, or mom stay home and cook for a while, or different things? Has that changed to the kids' relationship to food and everything else? So a lot more information that I really need in order to be able to help them more. And so consider all the dynamics in play here. Action plan. There's so many things I like to do, but it's very interesting because I help 6 families in my practice, and it takes a long time for things to change. I want to be faster, but it usually doesn't happen that way. For instance, like my Haddad family, I've been working with the mom for 7 years, and I started to work with the son 3 years ago. Only up to 3 months ago, the son told me, he said, by my parent changing not to always eat sweets all the time, it really helps me rethink about my sugar intake and my relationship with sweets, and that's really helpful. So those things that it really takes time, and always start with parents. If they have very unhealthy relationship with food, if mom is always stress eating, if dad has sweet tooth, and the kids see that, and they learn. And the bad food choice, well, there's no good or bad food. The sugary food choice is right there, and it's convenient. They're gonna go grab a celery stick or a dessert, So, action plan. So first, I find this useful for me and my clients to data collect for 2 weeks. So it's food journal, it's activity journal, it's lifestyle journal, but I like to collect both from Tony and from mom. So I want Tony to be able to see what he's eating, what he's doing, and I want mom to be able to see what she's doing, what Tony's doing from her own perspective. And I want mom to be able to also write the journal for entire family, for grocery shopping list, for kitchen and pantry collection. And so, by writing all those data for 2 weeks, she will have the good insights about what's happening. And after data collection for 2 weeks, and I find 2 weeks works for my clients because it's not too short. 2 weeks they have 2 weekends, 2 full weekdays that we can really know, like if they have any outings or dinner parties or events or homes and everything. So, and that's not too long, so people get impatient about have to, and then feel too tedious about having to record everything. So 2 weeks work for me and my clients. And after data collection for 2 weeks will be data analysis. So I really need mom to see all the detailed facts and laying out in front of her. So how much time she put into Tony's nutrition efforts? How much time she put in prepare food, designing food, planning ahead, taking into consideration what will Tony like, and has she got any education or cooking skills, planning and prepping food, efforts into it. And I will use my motivational skill, interview skill, to let mom speak out from the fact and herself. And I think that would be a really emotional and very important um, moment for the mom to understand herself, that it really started from her. And also, from Tony, want to make sure that we understand the food he's eating and the activity level he's having, what's kind of impact to him, his feeling, and his feedback from how he feels. And then after, from mom and from Tony, I would really like them to sit together and communicate together. How does Tony feel that mom's efforts or input to his nutrition, or how does mom feels about her own efforts and Tony's efforts? So communication together. And then after them themselves analyze their own data, I will come in to advise from professional point of view the aspects that they can improve from current situation. So it can be from food selection, food education, timing, home cooking, skills development, and to plan ahead, and to educate them, take out food selection, food substitution, and gradual ways to select the food to better choices. And so my action plan for people, for this family, will be one small habit every 2 weeks. Again, 2 weeks is a sweet spot for me. It's not too long and it's not too short. So for Tony, depends on Tony's preferences and data collection analysis. I will introduce one small habit at a time. It will be small habit like one more cup of water than his current intake, or playing some fun games, 2 different colored vegetables per day. So he has to have a green, or he has to have a red, or white, or purple, or something like that. Or one whole food per day, so it's not only just frozen food and all that. He has to have a one whole food, a real chicken or salmon or steak a day, or small habit like eat meal without distraction, no phones, no iPad, no TVs, small habit like that, and make it fun, like make it like playing, and get some card to get his favorite dinosaur stickers or the different things. Whatever he likes, cater to his liking, and make fun of a small habit. And so for mom, small habit can be, maybe every week he will learn a new recipe, or he would, learn a Sunday ritual to pre-plan throughout the entire week so he can pre-buy organized way in the grocery, and or he can pre-cook for entire busy week in advance. And so or she can plan the entire family sit down meal together. Which days that they don't have business engagement, so they can make sure that entire family understand. Wednesday night this week we're gonna all sit down, have a family, you know, meal together. Or she can either small habit can be for her to plan a grocery shopping trip together, to let Tony or the daughter pick out the vegetables that they never seen before, they want to try, they think they look nice, or the color or the smell nice. Let them touch the vegetables, let them select, give them autonomy. That will really help them to get closer to the new food experience. And for moms, one small habit can be maybe take some cooking lessons, or check online with different cooking methods, different cooking skills. So equip her with more tools to provide more options to Tony. And also for mom, it's very important to be a good self-example. So if she's drinking a lot of soda, maybe she can set a good example to drink less sugary drink, less processed or packaged food herself, less sweets, less dessert, herself more water, more vegetables, more protein, more outdoor activities, not always stay home, watch TV, or stare at her phone all the time. So kids can learn from her, and maybe have her to learn how to spend more time on kids instead of just running around. I also find this, especially raised in Taiwanese family, a lot of Asian family parents, they feel it's more important for them to drive a Mercedes than spend money on organic food. So when the parents already have this wrong priority in their mind, how do you expect kids to grow up with healthy relationship with food, right? I mean, one is just a vehicle, another is the food, the fuel that you really take into your body. I mean, there's just no comparison. And so now game time, I was really having fun thinking a lot of different game playing options. So, being a boy, 10-year-old, playing game with Tony with positive experience association. So maybe his, iPod songs can link to some new food experience. Maybe the song mentions some food or some color or some different things, different geographical city or area that we can, link to some fun food for him. And or maybe his preferred superhero character we can link to certain food group, spinach or protein. He has to eat a lot of good fuel, good grow food, so he can be as strong as his superhero character. And need to teach Tony awareness eating, how foods smell, how they look, and but with the game kind of atmosphere, and then so the color of the food, how small, how big, the texture and everything, and and so and also maybe do some cooking game together with Tony. Tony's so small, so maybe have him pick out some flavors. Maybe he can just decide, hey, I want some spicy, or I want some herbs. He's never seen different herbs. Lay out all the different herbs and have him identify and learn and taste those herbs, and then pick which herbs that you want to put in which food. So it will be fun for him. And then because he picked out those seasonings himself, so he will be more interested to find out how they taste after cooking with the food that he picked out. So And the sit down eating ritual to make kids understand it's so precious to eat. Eating is a ritual. And the cleaning, and make it fun. Have Tony and the daughter, rotate or clean or different ways, or have them, sing a song to clean all the glasses or different things, or they, just to play different games um, around entire hemisphere. And like Coach Dom mentioned, the dipping game. So have them to pick any vegetable, don't make a big deal out of it, with a very fun, appealing, attractive, interesting play setting for them. So and then put the emphasis focus on the dips, but they have to use the vegetable to dip them. And we can also play with a healthy homemade dipping sauce, like 2, 3 different dipping sauce, different color. To have to guess, and from the taste and everything, what are they made from? What are they made of? Is it carrots? Is it tomato? If it's mustard? If it's citrus? If it's different things, it'll just make it very fun. And we'll find their preferred food from here and expand from there. That will make things easier. So, for instance, like Tony, he likes to drink soda. He likes to drink sugary juices. So we can gradual you know evolution that from that to maybe all natural canned juice, and from there maybe we can make our own fruit juice from frozen fruit, and then we can make juice from fresh fruit, and then um, after that maybe they can start to eat fruit itself, not juicing anymore. Another a gradual evolution can be his Cheerios. So we can start from his existing Cheerios to less sugary cereal and to oatmeal with honey. And his hot dog, you can graduate from from current hot dog, any hot dogs, to not cured hot dog, so not treated with nitrates and all that different things, and hot dog with less sodium, and then graduate to hot dog with more protein content, hot dog without antibiotics or hormones, and eventually you can eat grass-fed hot dog. And chicken nuggets, he mentioned he likes that. So from chicken nuggets, we can gradual progress to less sodium one, organic one, homemade chicken nuggets, and a healthy homemade dipping sauce. So we can play around with the gradual evolution from their preferred food to graduate to healthy spectrum. So yeah, I'm really having fun to think all those game um, play with Tony, and I really like to use some of them um, to do my volunteer work. I think it will be really useful, and if kids, if they're still young, if they change it, the eating habit and relationship with food, they're gonna benefit the rest of their lives, and they're gonna educate their kids better way, and so the world will be a better place. And so, few interesting thing I um, studied when I'm researching on case study 23. So in United States, we spend 6.4% of our household income on food only. 6.4%. So that means that we got so much more priorities than food. I really wonder how do American people consider health? Do they think it's a top priority, or do they think money, power, pleasure, and all that is more important? But without health, we cannot do any of this. So this is from 2015 World Econ Forum. So average American person spent about $2,300 a year on food. This is really mind-boggling, because if you buy fresh ingredient, I mean organic food or local farmers market, you easily per person, you easily can spend $200 to $300. Well, more, $500 per person a month. So that it's shockingly low to how much we're willing to invest on food, and we blame our kids not liking vegetables or being picky eater. I think we should be the one to be blamed for. So I really enjoyed this case study, and I'm gonna take it from here to try to help local kids in Pasadena, and I will keep Coach Down posted. So thanks for the opportunity for this big project, because I feel like I'm doing this every single day in my business. So it's very helpful, and I feel more responsible for my clients and for the society. So thank you. It's a great final case study.